there. Welcome back to the 10 Weather Impact Show. I'm meteorologist Lily Aldrich, and we kind of have an interesting day to talk about today. Lots of sunshine for your Friday, but looking ahead towards tomorrow, we are 10 Weather Impact Alert for your Saturday. Now, it's not an entire washout. That's what we want to keep an eye on. It's going to have some rain for your Saturday events, and that's why we've issued the alert. You're going to see some rain on your Saturday, and that's what we really want to keep an eye at for you, because it is going to impact your day tomorrow as we get into it. But right now, for your Friday, it's pretty clear out there. Lots of sunshine in your forecast today. Some dry time and not really seeing too many clouds out on our satellite and radar at the moment. All the actions kind of towards our west, building in from Illinois all at the moment, and that's all coming in. For our current temperatures all across the area right now, right around 85 degrees in Columbus. We will get a little bit warmer over the next few hours, but our surrounding areas seeing mainly mid to low 30s, not really seeing too much down in MacArthur at the moment, but for the most part, seeing pretty warm temperatures, mid to low 80s all across the board. Over the next 12 hours, though, we're looking to slightly warm up to around 87 degrees. You will have some clouds build back into your forecast, but by the time we get later into the evening, around 1 o'clock tonight, those clouds will continue, bringing in slightly warmer temperatures overnight tonight compared to what we saw yesterday. Here's all the high temperatures all across Ohio for today, right around 86, 87 degrees in Columbus. Surrounding areas a little more south, you see cooler temperatures, and even up in Cleveland, you're seeing mid to low 80s, around 81 down upper in Cleveland. Looking pretty nice over there. Here's a recap of all of your July highs. We had a really long stretch of super warm days right at the beginning of July. If you might remember, we had something called a heat dome building in over the area, and that's what kind of rocketed these temperatures pretty much to be 97 degrees on July 3rd back a few weeks ago. But for the most part, those cleared out and left us with a couple warmer days, still above average, but not as warm as what we saw during that first week. We had a little bit of a cool off, and then we got right back into those warm temperatures. By the time we got into the end of July, we had a little bit more of a stretch of 70s this past weekend, and now we're kind of right around that average range, right around 85 degrees to finish everything out. By the time we get into the beginning of August, humidity will start to creep back up. This is around the dew points for you. This around 60s today and tomorrow. But by the time we get all of that rain on Saturday, we have dew points right back into the mid to low 70s for your dew point. That's the uncomfortable range, the ugh when you go outside. Here's all your rain though. For your Saturday, 60% chance. Not an entire washout. You will see some dry time, but you will be impacted by your events if you do have outside plans tomorrow. But take a look at this. You see rain pretty much every single day for the next upcoming week. 20% chance from Monday onwards up until Thursday and Friday. That's those afternoon pop-up showers. But that's the reason we are weather impact alert for your Saturday. It's mainly for those rain and storm chances, and that will impact your outside events if you do have any events. And we have a lot of stuff going on in Columbus and the surrounding areas over the next few days. So let's time everything out for you. Lots of dry time today. There's those overnight clouds I was just telling you about. Those will build in for your Saturday morning, and that's when the rain kind of starts to creep in. For the most part, stuff will start to build up around 10, 11 o'clock, but more of the heavier stuff will come later in the afternoon. This is around noon tomorrow for your Saturday. This will eventually move out of the area, leaving a little bit of dry time for your Saturday afternoon. And then once we get to a little bit later in the afternoon, into the evening hours, right around 8, 9 o'clock, that's when you're starting to see a little bit more of that heavier rain. Now, again, these aren't severe storms necessarily. It's just going to be impacting your day, and that's why we've issued that impact alert for you. That will continue into the rest of your Saturday evening, overnight into Sunday morning. You will see some dry time for your Sunday, but you do have a chance of seeing a pop-up shower, a scattered shower throughout the day or two, and this will eventually clear out, and then we'll get back into what your usual pattern kind of looks like for the beginning of August, afternoon showers. So this is the reason everything is going on right now. This high pressure system is kicking all of that yuckiness out of the way. It's saying, hey, we're staying dry. And that's why we've been dry for the last couple days. But next, what's upcoming, this low pressure system with that cold front basically chopping in and bringing all of this moisture over to us, bringing in those rain chances over to our area. And that's really what's kind of fueling the rest of this system kind of building into our area. And that's going to leave a lot of that rain to kind of deteriorate by the time we get into Sunday and Monday. By the time that cold front wipes out, we're looking pretty good on the other side. Maybe a couple pop-up showers with the humidity, but for the most part, It's going to be okay. We're looking good. Warm, calm Friday. So take advantage if you get outside today. It's a great day to go experience some events. I know we have opening day and we have lots of fair time for the rest of the evening. So it's a great day to do it because we do have rain coming on Saturday. And by the time we get rid of all that rain, though, we do have a slight cool down. So that's everything you need to know if you're headed out the door anytime soon. For your 7-day forecast, looking pretty good today, 87 degrees. We'll have a little bit of a warm up in the next few hours. By the time we get into Saturday, slightly cooler, 79, but you do have that weather impact alert for you because if you do have outside plans, it probably will rain. It will rain, actually. By the time we get into Sunday, those lingering showers will continue. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 20% chance all across the board, but we're staying in the mid to low 80s, so it might feel quite nice as you get outside during the morning into the mid-evening hours. So overall, not too bad of a forecast, but we are keeping an eye on your Saturday for you. For the most part, the main reason we have that 10 weather impact alert day is this Saturday is due to the high number of events taking place this weekend. Thousands of people will pack up Kaufman Park for the 3-day Dublin Irish Festival, as just for one example. The festival features traditional Irish music and dance and celebrating Irish heritage. After the event, the city of Dublin is partnering with Central Ohio Safe Ride to get you home, and you can also get discounts through Lyft. It's all about making sure people are able to celebrate and get home safe. Today through Sunday, you can actually get a $10 discount on Lyft using the code DublinIrish26 with no spaces. The pickup drop-off site is at Dublin City Hall on Perimeter Drive, and that code will only work within that little range. But a reminder, if there is any kind of severe weather during the event, officials have safe shelter zones set up at the Dublin Community Recreation Center, the Development Building, and Dublin Kaufman High School. Remember, festival tents are only for rain, not for lightning or high winds. And of course, that's not the only event this weekend. The Ohio State Fair is back underway all weekend as well. In addition to the rides and the food tonight, the SOS Band brings their funk back to the stage. Fair tickets are $13 for adults and free for kids under 5 and under. Veterans and first responders also get in free with an ID. And if you want to head out, here are the fair's hours to help you plan your trip. Monday through Friday, the fair is open from around 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. And then on weekends, you can go a little bit earlier, and that's when the fair is open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. On the last day of the fair, August 9th, most fair buildings will be closed by 6 p.m. So that's a little update if you need to get out there anytime for the last day of the fair. But if you're going to the State Fair on Saturday, you can also take advantage of free parking on the Ohio State University campus. Take a look at this. There's parking on Woody Hayes Drive at the South Fieldhouse lot, and there's also a shuttle near St. John Arena. And one more event as we head into the weekend. Today's the day when thousands of bikers are hopping behind the handlebars on a ride to help raise money to beat cancer. It's Pelotonia Race Weekend. The ride starts Saturday, and there are multiple routes ranging between 17 miles to over 150 miles. The grassroots fundraiser is set to bring out thousands of cyclists and spectators. 10TV talked with the CEO of Pelotonia, Joe Apgar, who told us they were already shattering registration records back in April.
It surprised us a little bit, to be quite frank, but I think, after having a record-breaking year last year, there's so much amazing work happening in the research space right now. Our community's excited, and, we opened registration on early March, and it's been sort of on fire since.
Singer-songwriter and cancer survivor Andrew McMahon is headlining the opening ceremony today in downtown Columbus, right at 6:30 tonight. Writer check-in starts just a few hours at 11:30. The nonprofit says more than $300 million has been raised for cancer research at Ohio State since 2009. While the weather could maybe dampen the event, the nonprofit posted on Facebook yesterday that Ride Weekend will happen, rain or shine. They say there are team members monitoring the weather, and if you come across wet roads, slow down. You'll notice color-coded flags along the route. Green means that it's safe to go, and yellow is proceed with caution, and red flags mean that severe weather is imminent, so you do need to stop. And of course, with so much going on and the threat for inclement weather, we'll let you know if any plans for the festivals or any of the events we talked about have changed. Download our free app where you can get severe weather alerts sent straight to your phone as soon as they come in. The other thing you need to monitor this weekend is, of course, the traffic, with more on what to expect during the weekend ride. Here's 10 TV traffic anchor Brianna Albizu.
Yes, a lot of excitement is building up for Pelotonia. Opening ceremony actually on Friday over at McPherson Commons Park, starting as early as 4 p.m. Gates opening out there. So as you can see on the map, it's just south of the Arena District. So expect more traffic, absolutely, in those surrounding areas. Also expect road closures too, including Spring Street and Long Street. You will not be able to access it between Hocking and Marconi Boulevard. No cars will be available to drive through. Now on Saturday, that's the big one. We're talking a 17-mile route for a lot of bikers out there. Traffic impacts include Neal Avenue and High Street, which is over by OSU's campus, as well as North 4th Street and East Broad Street, those rolling road closures more towards downtown Columbus, especially heading east out towards Bexley. Lastly, when it comes to riders and volunteers, you actually have a parking pass available for you for free parking. Some garages over in the Arena District. Just make sure to use that QR code. You can find it on 10tv.com right now. But as you can see, McConnell, Marconi, and Neal garages are really good options there. Just be careful with those roof racks, especially with those mounted bikes. Some garages don't actually have that vertical clearance out there for you. Lastly, allow extra time, be patient, of course, have fun out there this weekend. Hope this helps. Back to you.
We've talked a lot this week about fires and heat waves ongoing around the globe, and those events are still continuing as we head into the weekend. Over in Greece, the fight against the fires remains all hands on deck. Armed with tractors, plows, and tree branches, locals in Viola, Greece joined the fight against a wildfire on Friday. Some plowed fields to create fire breaks while others beat back flames by hand with tree branches as the fire tore through the dry vegetation. The dramatic scenes were captured by CNN affiliate CNN Greece. And the threat isn't done yet. These images come from high above the fires in Greece, where the Hellenic Ministry of Civil Protection is saying the risk for wildfires in the country will only go up in the coming days. And if fighting these fires wasn't enough, first responders here and in Europe are also battling the heat wave that is coming with these conditions. With more on that battle and what firefighters are doing to stay safe, here's Micah Wilson from Oklahoma City.
Triple-digit temperatures have been taking over the Sooner State.
Despite the heat, we drink a ton of water.
The heat has been impacting just about everyone.
It's horrible, to be honest.
Including firefighters and paramedics.
Heat exhaustion's a real thing out here. You don't think about it until it starts to overtake you, and then it's too late by that time.
And when you work outside, the heat can easily become a major problem.
Water's constantly in their hands.
Fire Chief Wesley Rhodes is with the Nakoma Park Fire Department, and despite the hot temperatures,
Team effort. It takes a team.
He and his team are out on the front lines fighting flames with pounds of gear on.
We're here for the community, to protect the community. That's why we do our job.
And the job of SSM Health Midwest City workers is to keep them safe.
What we do is provide active cooling. We monitor their vital signs. We provide rehydration.
Maxine Council is the operations manager. She says they come out to large fires to make sure firefighters take breaks, reset, and don't overheat.
But this is essential to keep them on their performance and keep them healthy.
The workers also check their temperature and cool them off with towels.
So we want to make sure that they're ready and stay healthy.
But the one thing firefighters do to stay safe is something we can all do.
Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. That's the most important thing.
For Oklahoma's Own, I'm Micah Wilson.
For many parts of the country, families planning a trip to the zoo this weekend should be ready for triple-digit temperatures. But the staff don't just have their human visitors to worry about. They have to keep more than 3,000 animals cool, too. Your reporter, Kelly Worthman, shows you how they do it.
It does feel like we're getting no breaks this year. I think we're all feeling that.
It's been a relentless summer in Denver, and humans aren't the only ones looking to cool off.
I was very jealous of the penguins in the water.
A lot of times people are like, whoa, I didn't expect to see the penguins out today. It's nice that we can communicate that with our guests, that these are warm weather penguins. They're happy outside in the heat.
To help guests survive the sizzle, the Denver Zoo Conservation Alliance relies on misting stations, shade, and air-conditioned indoor spaces. Turns out the operational playbook for its 3,000 animals looks surprisingly similar.
In some cases, it's just giving them the option to be indoors or outdoors. You also see how we retrofit existing habitats. So we put in shade structures, misters, additional water features.
Animal care teams track weather and air quality alerts around the clock to protect the zoo's 450 species. And when temps reach toward triple digits, a cool dip is the hot choice.
You will see the elephants in here a lot.
Being close to or even in the water is certainly one way these animals stay cool, but Denver Zoo staff do a number of other things to make sure all species are comfortable.
One of our famous things we do are bloodsicles for some of our carnivores, where the animal care team will work with nutrition to put blood and meat in an ice treat, and that's a nice way to cool animals down too.
Okay, we're right here. This is the bongo.
Beyond day-to-day enrichment, staff are evaluating whether native animals can even handle Colorado's shifting climate, and it's already forcing evolutionary trades.
We had Rocky Mountain bighorn sheep. They live on Sheep Mountain. We actually brought in a different species, desert bighorn sheep, because they're more adapted to even hotter temperatures.
Most of the time we see them kind of hiding in the shade or, just laying out, maybe taking a little break.
A reminder that habitat design isn't just about display. It's about short and long-term survival in a changing climate.
I think it's only going to get worse. So we definitely are thinking about the long-term impact the heat has on both animals and guests.
I'm Kelly Worthman, covering Colorado First.
And all of this dry and hot weather is also taking a toll on water levels out west, especially along the Colorado River. Mason Carroll has that story from Lake Powell, Arizona.
Water levels here at Lake Powell are reaching near record low as big decisions on what happens to Colorado River water is just days away. So for the people who make their living on this water, this decision could impact their entire operation. The Wawee boat ramp was full of boaters excited to launch into Lake Powell this time last year. This year, people have to hike to the water here, as only 2 of 12 boat ramps are open. The low lake levels have scared tourists away, hurting businesses on the lake and consequently in Page.
And they're honest about it, but they say it's about 30% down.
Judy Franz is the executive director of the Page Chamber of Commerce. She also owns a fishing and boating tour company with her husband, William McBurney. He says they felt the impact of low lake levels, but he argues that visitors shouldn't turn away. Judy says businesses are cutting prices to bring in tourists, and the Park Service will be installing new boat ramps.
So we're not just sitting up here hoping. Everybody's planning, and I think that's what we have to do.
But on the other side of the Glen Canyon Dam, new cuts to the Colorado River could impact the delicate ecosystem and economy that relies on this water.
It's hard to put into words what this place does to you when you get here.
Sean Riding is the co-owner of Kayak the Colorado. His days are packed with taking people up the river. Now they're trying to figure out what to do if more cuts come to the Colorado. If the water becomes too low, it could impact how far boats could travel.
The impacts we will see if the cuts are too extreme are going to be devastating for this region.
It's uncertain times for everyone who relies on this water, but the overall sentiment, regardless of the federal cuts, is businesses on the lake and river will adapt to stay afloat.
Even if the water does slow down and we have to change, we're going to adapt and figure out what we need to do because people need to see this place. It's spectacular.
Reporting from the Colorado River, Mason Carroll for Arizona's Family.
And checking out new video here into us here at 10 TV. We've got a good collection of stories today to kind of fill you in. For the most part, we're starting out with Regional History Museum up in Ruse, and they began evacuating what is to believed to be the remains of woolly mammoths on the banks of the river, exposed to the bones. Wow. So far, researchers have identified a lower jaw hooks, a shoulder blade, and other bone fragments with a significant part of the skeleton possibly still buried. The species enlisted from roughly around 500,000 to 800,000 years ago till about 7,000 to 10,000 years ago. What an interesting feat to find there. Wow. Gotcha. Well, and that's it here from us at 10 TV. For the most part, Chris Tomer will be in tonight with your chief and everything else that you need to know weather-wise.